Rhode Island FC and North Carolina FC, in their return and debut in the USL Championship this year, have ranked in the bottom half in the league in terms of expected goals per game. What's gone wrong, and how did these teams try to change up their approach over the weekend as they faced off? You see Rhode Island first off here. They've been a team that's run a back three for most of the season, and they sort of changed up that style with Prince Sadie coming in as this wingback winger hybrid in the context of Saturday's match. You see how, on the other side of the field, Rhode Island was still able to access some of their usual patterns. You get a touch for Noah Fuson between the lines. Stephen Turnbull, who's mostly been the right wing back during the course of the campaign, gets upfield, but that's where the problems begin. There's no access to the center. Now you see the look and how Sadie ended up being in a somewhat unbalanced left wing spot for much of the game. In order to cover that, Gabriel Alves at left back, left center back, ended up covering space in a more traditional 4-2-3-1 sort of concept. But overall, while I like the change on paper, it didn't solve this team's ultimate issue, which is penetration down the center of the park. Now, North Carolina sort of had the opposite problem. They supercharged what they had in the middle of the pitch, using Luis Perez as a much deeper sort of attacking midfielder instead of his usual forward role. Still, ultimately, their best chances came when they could get interceptions and get out on the break quickly. You see that here. Rafa Mensingen from the right wing-back spot is able to get upfield, quickly charge in, and play a ball that deserved more ultimately. Compare that to these plays where you're getting Perez on the drop. Yes, it's nice to have the three-man midfield, but Rhode Island isn't tested. Granted, these are good central rotations to deny Perez and to clamp down on the flank and to deny Alex Anderson up top, but you're just not seeing enough tempo, you're not seeing enough movement from North Carolina FC. Ultimately, this team needs to do more to access their forwards. They need to get Evan Conway involved on more than just a bench basis. And it's really just emblematic of the way that neither of these teams have quite found their offensive